Welcome to this Fundamentals Lesson Plan series on complex wall design and editing. In this video, we'll take a look at creating a vertically compound wall type. This is video 101. My name is John Harridge, and I'll be your host for today's lesson. Let's review the learning objectives for video 1. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to create a vertical compound wall style using an existing wall type as a template. Next, we'll modify the wall structures by adding layers. Next, we'll look at subdividing the walls in the vertical orientation using the split region tool, and also using the merge region tool to modify wall layers. And then last, we'll look at modifying the wall layer properties for materials and thicknesses. With that, let's get started. Let's begin the exercise with an instructor preview of the hands-on exercise that's coming up shortly here. Just a heads up that we will not be covering sweeps for additive geometry such as cornices using profile shapes, nor are we going to look at reveals that are driven by profile shapes. In the previous wall lessons, we looked at creating simple multi-material wall types with materials that have a constant thickness in the vertical plane. In this exercise, we will expand on this knowledge by creating multi-materials stacked in the same plane or column of space. We will use the split region tool, which allows us to subdivide that column of space into multiple segments and then assign those to different material layers. So if we zoom into the model or the finished product, if you will, you'll see that stone is the primary material, but it's going to include a brick soldier course accent band. Let me go ahead and select the resultant wall on screen, and let's go into the wall structure editor, and we'll take a closer look at what's happening here. So in the wall editor, what's highlighted in the preview window is indeed the brick soldier course, and the layer 2 that's now highlighted is the primary stone material. So we'll be looking at the merge region and split region tools that are located at the bottom of this dialog box. In addition, we'll also look at assign layers. Again, what's not covered is sweeps and reveals. We'll probably save that for a future tutorial. So let me close this out. This concludes this instructor preview. Please join me now in the hands-on exercise. Let's begin the exercise by opening up an existing project file. So go ahead and click open, and then navigate to your tutorial folder. Let's open up the Compound Walls 01 exercise project. So to begin the workflow, we'll practice with the split and merge region commands before tackling the official assignment here. I'm just hovering to let you know this is the wall that we'll be editing here. So let's put that wall in a selection set and click Edit Type. And we're just going to modify the existing wall type. We will not duplicate this to create another unique wall type. So let's go ahead and click Edit across from the structure field. If the preview window for the wall editor is not showing, just click on the preview button in the lower left corner. So I just toggled it off and then just back on. The preview window does have two orientations for display. One is plan view and the other is section view. Please make sure it's set to the section view. And then for the sample wall height, that's actually controlled by this field in the upper right hand corner. If you want to give it a try, go ahead and type in 10 feet and hit the enter key to accept. It does make the wall shorter, and then I'll reset it back to 20 feet and hit the enter key again to reset it to its original value. Next, let's practice with the split region tool. That's located in the bottom lower left corner of the wall editor. Before we start that tool, let's zoom in to a smaller region of the sample wall. Let's study the base of the wall. Go ahead and click Split Region. And when you move your cursor back into the preview window, you should see that your cursor is now a knife icon, and that's the correct behavior. When you hover your cursor over a material layer, then you'll get the temporary dimensions previewing on screen. That's what we're seeking. So let me zoom in here a little bit using the scroll wheel mouse button. All right, and when you get the temporary dimensions to appear, that's when you left click to place a horizontal line that represents the split region. So go ahead and place 2. Dimensions are not critical at this point. We're just practicing here. Let's follow that up by merging the upper 2 wall segments back to a single wall segment. So click on Merge Region. And the trick here is to place your cursor over that horizontal line that currently separates them and left click to apply the merge operation. And now it's healed. And it's back to just one segment at that location. If we want to change the position of the split line, click the Modify tool and then place your cursor over the split line, left click to reveal the temporary dimensions, and then you can override the temporary dimension value. So let me repeat that once again. Select the Modify tool, place your cursor over the split line, left click. Temporary dimensions appear, and I'll go ahead and specify another unique value. So that's how you can work with precision. All right, let's return back to the merge region command so we can get this back to the original state that we started from. Again, go ahead and left click on the horizontal line to merge the 2 wall segments together. All right, so let's begin the process in earnest here. Go ahead and select the Split Region tool again. Left click anywhere on the brick material. The exact height does not matter because we're going to assign it a new height here. After you place the split line, go ahead and click the Modify tool and click on the split line. And let's give it the value of 12 feet. So enter 12 and then hit the enter key to accept. Split line appears above the preview window or out of view, so let's scroll and pan the preview window accordingly to see where that split line is with more detail. All right, so let's place another split line 8 inches above the previous split line, and you can hover and acquire that visually and then left click to place. All right, so the next step is to add a new material layer. So select layer 1 in the upper right hand window and then click the Insert button immediately below that window to add a new material layer. Next, we'll assign the function of the layer material as Brick Soldier Course. But before we do that, let's go ahead and assign it a structural function. Actually, let's assign it a finish function, so that it cleans up with like materials in that position. Now we'll go ahead and assign it a material. So click on the Browse button in that material field and scroll down until you find the Masonry Brick Soldier material. All right, once you locate that, go ahead and select that material. Let's go ahead and click OK to accept. All right, so we've got brick, and note that the thickness values for layers 1 and 2 are different. That's okay. They do resolve themselves, so to speak. Next, we'll set the material properties for layer 2. In this case, we'll give it the assignment of masonry stone. So again, click on the Browse button for layer 2 material. And then scroll down a little further until you find masonry stone. Go ahead and select it. And then click OK to accept and continue. So we have the material layers defined, and now the remaining task is to assign those layers to the respective wall segments. So to begin that workflow, go ahead and click the layer 1 row, and then we're going to use and assign that material to the Brick Soldier course. So go ahead and click Assign Layer, and then left click in that 8-inch wall segment to give that segment the Brick Soldier course assignment. There's no need to make a similar assignment for stone, as it automatically assumes that layer 2 is the remaining material assignment in that column of space. Let's go ahead and click OK to accept and dismiss the wall editor dialog box. Click OK once again to exit the type properties dialog box, and now you should see the updated wall type in the model view. Go ahead and explore some of those other functions that are in the wall editor on your own. Otherwise, go ahead and save the file as Compound Walls 01 exercise finished. This concludes this exercise. Let's take a look at next steps. Let's review the learning objectives for video 1. In this lesson, you were able to create a vertical compound wall style using an existing wall type as a template. Then we modified the wall structures to accommodate a new soldier course. And then we applied a split region tool to subdivide that material in the vertical direction. And then also did some cleanup using the merge region command as well. And last, we applied wall layer properties to assign materials and also thicknesses. With that, let's take a look at Autodesk resources that are available to you. I would like to make you aware of 2 Autodesk resources. The first resource is the Autodesk Education Community, where you can access free software for both students and educators for titles like Autodesk Revit featured in this series. The website address is www.students.autodesk.com. Registration is required to access the free software using either your personal email address or your school-issued email address. The second resource is the Autodesk Digital STEAM Workshop. It's hands-on, project-based learning across multiple industries such as architecture, engineering, and entertainment. The website address is www.digitalsteam.autodesk.com. Registration is required to download the free learning resources using your Autodesk ID created from the Autodesk Education Community. You will find the Fundamentals of Architecture series under the Subject pull-down menu, Architecture link. Assets include step-by-step instructions, datasets, and videos. This concludes this lesson overview summary. Thank you for watching.